Hey guys, it's Destiny, and today we're going to be talking about the best shark maid, Ellen. I'm definitely a huge fan of her tail as well. Before we get into today's video though, comment down below one of your favorite video games. I personally love Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. And if you guys enjoy videos like these, do make sure to subscribe to win your next 50/50 in Zenless. Leave a like to support the video, and now let's get straight into it. Let's start off with Ellen's kit. Ellen is an ice attack character who is part of the Victoria housekeeping faction. Ellen is a really unique DPS who takes advantage of dash attacks, extending some of her attacks, her own charges to power up her moves, and much more. To begin with Ellen's moveset, her basic attack, Saw Teeth Trimming, will deal 3 physical attacks, and you can hold her third basic attack to actually extend the duration of the attack, which lets you take advantage of the massive third attack multiplier that Ellen has. Since now she'll be dealing more attacks with a third hit, especially if you do decide to extend it. The thing is though with Ellen's basic attacks is that her basic attacks actually have 2 variants. The first one we went over is Saw Teeth Trimming, and then she also has her enhanced ice basic attacks, Flash Freeze Trimming. You'll want to primarily be taking advantage of Flash Freeze Trimming as you'll be able to deal more damage with her ice attacks as well as higher basic attack multipliers. And the damage difference is pretty massive between using the 3 basic attacks for Saw Teeth Trimming and for Flash Freeze Trimming. You might be wondering though, how do I use her enhanced basic attack? You'll need to acquire Flash Freeze stacks, which is a huge part of Ellen's skill kit. And you can see how many stacks you have by looking at the stack count underneath her health bar. The ways to get Ellen's Flash Freeze stacks would be to take advantage of her dash attack, Arctic Ambush, and her EX special attacks. For her dash attack, you'll first enter Roaming Hunt, which is triggered by holding or double tapping the dash button. Now you'll see Ellen literally turn into Sonic the Hedgehog, or I guess in this scenario, Ellen the Hedgehog. What you'll do now is attack an enemy to gain Flash Freeze stacks, as Ellen will open her scissors and attack the enemy while gaining stacks. There's 2 variants of her dash attack. If you tap the attack, you'll gain 1 Flash Freeze stack. But if you actually hold her dash attack, then you'll see Ellen's scissors charge, and now you'll actually gain 3 stacks right away. Ellen will have increased anti-interruption with her hold dash attack, as well as reduce the damage she does take. This is very useful, especially if you do get hit while she's charging Arctic Ambush. Plus, if Ellen charges her dash attack, she will be able to trigger Shatter onto an enemy if they are frozen. This is nice for more damage output. As for Ellen's special attacks, Ellen has 3 special attacks that she can take advantage of. Her normal special attack will allow Ellen to do a quick tail sweep, dealing ice damage to an enemy, and for her EX special attacks, her first EX special is Tail Swipe. This will allow Ellen to do a powerful tail swipe attack onto an enemy while being invulnerable, which means you can't take any damage during her EX special attack. You'll gain 1 Flash Freeze stack from this, and then you will be able to unleash her third basic attack immediately after her EX special attack, which can be held to extend the attack duration, and you'll be able to deal a bunch of damage. Here's a slow-mo demonstration of her first EX special attack with the third basic attack in the combo. Keep in mind though, Ellen is only invulnerable during the EX special attack and not the basic attack afterwards. Now, if you have enough energy after her first EX special attack, you can immediately do her secondary one, which is Shark Nami. This will deal a bunch of powerful ice slashes onto an enemy, and you'll be invulnerable during this skill as well. You will gain a Flash Freeze stack, and now what you'll be able to do is her third basic attack after this one. So now what you could do as a result is EX special Tail Swipe into EX special Shark Nami, and now the basic attack 3 at the end. Here's a demonstration of her special attack. As one important note, Ellen can hold up to 6 Flash Freeze stacks, and each basic attack will consume 1 stack. So if you decide to use her charge dash attack, you can immediately use all 3 stacks to deal 3 enhanced ice basic attacks onto enemies. We'll discuss Ellen combos in a bit once we get through the rest of her skill kit. When it comes to Ellen's quick assist, she'll be able to re-enter the field, deal ice damage to enemies, but also be able to gain the quick charge effect. The quick charge effect essentially allows you to do a charged dash attack and gain 3 stacks faster in comparison to her normal charged dash attack. You'll need to do this pretty quick though after the quick assist, since the quick charge effect will only last for 5 seconds. As for Ellen's defensive assist and assist follow-up, you'll be able to use Ellen's defensive assist when an ally is about to be attacked on the field by clicking the swap button. After Ellen's defensive assist, you can now press the basic attack button, trigger her assist follow-up, and you can extend the skill duration by repeatedly tapping or holding her basic attack button. As for Ellen's chain attack, she'll crash down and unleash an ice storm, dealing a bunch of ice damage to enemies as well as have invulnerability during this skill. As for Ellen's ultimate, it will allow her to deal massive amounts of ice damage, and this definitely feels like a nuke with how strong the ultimate multiplier is. Like, holy cow. Or I guess in this case, holy shark. I don't know. As for Ellen's core passive though, whenever she uses her charged dash attack or uses flash freeze stacks for her enhanced basic attacks, she will massively increase the crit damage of these attacks up to 100%. Plus, she'll gain up to 14.4% crit rate from upgrading her core passive along the way. Ellen's core passive is a great way to have a high crit rate to crit damage ratio, especially on her charged dash attacks and her enhanced basic attack. As for Ellen's additional ability, if she's paired with a character of the same faction or attribute, she'll be able to increase her ice damage by dealing ice attacks, up to a 30% ice damage increase. Ellen will easily be able to have a good uptime on this, especially if you take advantage of her flash freeze stacks. Now that we've gone over Ellen's skill kit, let's go over some combos with Ellen and also things to keep in mind while playing her. For a basic combo with Ellen, it would be to go into roaming state, use her charged dash attack, and then unleash 3 enhanced basic attacks while extending the 3rd basic attack for additional damage. This combo doesn't require any energy or ultimate usage and is a nice way to deal strong damage onto enemies. If you have Ellen's EX special attacks ready, then you'll want to take advantage of these. What you could do is her EX special attacks and then do her enhanced basic attack combo. As for chain attacks and just team rotations, I would recommend getting 3 stacks ready for Ellen at the start of a fight, going into your stun character and building up the daze meter, then going into your support on the team to buff Ellen or the team's damage output in general. For a pro tip, if you are using Soukaku, you'll want to ensure once you go into her, you go into Ellen directly afterwards so that Ellen will get Soukaku's buffs. If you don't have enough energy ready, I would recommend taking advantage of her enhanced basic attacks right after coming back in, but if you do have energy built up, then I would recommend first using Ellen's EX special attack after her chain attack, then taking advantage of her enhanced basic attacks. If you have enough energy for her EX special attack Shark Nami, then you can use both EX special attacks and then enhanced basic attack. Now in this scenario, you have energy for your EX special attack and your ultimate. You'll want to trigger your chain attack, go into your support to buff Ellen, then go into Ellen and use her EX special attack tail swipe, her 3rd basic attack at the end, her ultimate, and then EX special tail swipe and Shark Nami if you have enough energy for Shark Nami, then finish off with her 3rd basic attack at the end of the EX special attack. When you do the chain attack though, if you do have 3 charged attacks, let's say the team was Lycaon, Ellen, and Soukaku, you'll stun the enemy with Lycaon, go into Soukaku, then go into Ellen to ensure that Ellen gets the buffs, then go into Lycaon to finish the chain attack, and then swap into Ellen afterwards. But for key things to keep in mind is that when an enemy is stunned, you'll want to attempt to fit in as many attacks as possible so you can take advantage of the stun damage multiplier to deal as much damage as possible to enemies. Additionally, when you're in a fight, you'll be taking advantage of Ellen's and her quick assist. So when these happen, you'll want to ensure to use her charged dash attack to get flash freeze stacks, as these are nice opportunities to gain more stack. I would say your main goals when playing Ellen though is ensure that you have enough flash freeze stacks available when you are attacking enemies, dealing as much damage as possible with her enhanced basic attacks, EX special attacks, and ultimate, especially when enemies are stunned, depending on, of course, how much energy you have and if your ultimate is active. When it comes to team building with Ellen, I would recommend her as your main damage dealer, having a stunner on the team and then a support character, in this particular order. Ellen will be first to gain flash freeze stacks at the start of a fight, your stun character in the middle to swap into to build as much daze as possible to an enemy to trigger a chain attack, and having your support in the third slot will be to take advantage of quick assists. When quick assists are triggered, the character to the right will be the character being swapped into from the quick assist triggering. Because of that, you'll want to have your support in the third slot, since the quick assist will now go into Ellen, which now allows you to take advantage of the quick charge effect to gain quick flash freeze stacks. For your stun character, the best option will absolutely be Lycaon, as he is one of Ellen's best partners since he can increase the stun damage multiplier when enemies are stunned, he can lower enemy ice resistance, which highly benefits Ellen's damage, and he is also part of Ellen's attribute in faction, which means that they can activate each other's additional abilities. You can also use Coleta or Anby as your stun character though if you don't have Lycaon. As for your support character in the team, I would recommend Soukaku or Rina the most. Soukaku can increase the ice damage of the team, give a huge attack boost to the incoming ally of a quick assist or chain attack triggered by Fly the Flag, and if you have her 4th Mindscape, she'll also lower the ice resistance of enemies. Overall, Soukaku is an amazing free-to-play support for Ellen and is able to provide buffs that Ellen would highly appreciate to boost her damage potential. As for Rina, she'll be able to provide the team pen ratio, which allows you to ignore a percentage of enemy defenses, and Rina can also build up electric attribute anomaly with her attack. This can allow you to now take advantage of disorder, since you'll be able to build up ice attribute anomaly as well as electric. You could also use Ellen alongside Rina and Soukaku to take advantage of both of their buffs, but you will have to build up daze on an enemy with all your team members since you don't have a dedicated stunner now. But this can allow you to take advantage of a lot of quick assists with this team comp, and you'll also be able to have a nice upkeep on the buffs Rina and Soukaku provide, as well as allow Ellen to quickly gain flash freeze stacks from the quick charge effect. For a free-to-play team, I would recommend using Ellen, Anby, and Soukaku, as Ellen will be main damage dealer, Anby can build up electric attribute anomaly and be your stun character on the team, then Soukaku can provide Ellen ice damage buffs, attack buffs, and so on. For Bangboos of choice, I would recommend Butler on a team with 2 or more Victoria housekeeping characters, Shark Boo as a nice Bangboo for ice teams or at least a team with 2 ice characters, and Penguin Boo as your A rank option since 1, Penguin Boo is a cute penguin, and 2, Penguin Boo is a nice option for ice teams. If you don't have any of these options though, and you just don't really have many Bangboos, you could also just use Bangboos for the time being. Now that we've gone over Ellen's kit, combos, some things to consider when playing her, and her teams, let's go over how to build Ellen. When it comes to building Ellen, all of her skills are pretty beneficial to upgrade. Her basic attacks will be used very often as they are powerful sources of damage output, especially when she has flash freeze stacks. Her ultimate has incredibly high multipliers and can nuke enemies. Her EX special attacks are great for additional damage output, especially when paired with her basic attacks for combos, and so on. Since she will be your main DPS, I do recommend considering to heavily invest into her skills as they will be beneficial for more damage output. As for her W engines, her signature Deep Sea Visitor will be her best option, as it provides her 25% ice damage increase, 24% crit rate at level 60, an additional 10% crit rate whenever the wearer uses a basic attack, and then another 10% crit rate when the wearer deals ice damage with a dash attack. At only 1 copy of this W engine, you can get Ellen an additional 44% crit rate and 25% ice damage increase. Since Ellen gets a bunch of crit damage from her core passive, this W engine pairs perfectly with her and is an excellent option. As for alternative W engines, the Brimstone, which is Soldier 11's signature W engine, works nicely for the additional attack as well as combat attack it grants Ellen. This can definitely increase the power of her moves. You can also use Steel Cushion, which is Nekomata's W engine. The physical damage increase won't really benefit Ellen as you do want to take advantage of those flash freeze stacks, but if you do hit a lot of back attacks, the damage increase can be beneficial there. Plus, it can grant Ellen an additional 24% crit rate, which helps with having a higher crit rate to crit damage ratio. As for a free-to-play option though, I would recommend using Starlight Engine. It'll grant a nice amount of additional attack as well as combat attack when using a dodge counter or quick assist. This W engine is a pretty solid free-to-play option for attack type characters. As for Ellen's disk drives, you'll want to use 4-piece Woodpecker Electro, 4-piece Polar Metal, or 4-piece Puffer Electro. All three of these options work nicely on Ellen. 4-piece Woodpecker Electro grants Ellen 8% additional crit rate, and whenever she triggers a critical hit with her basic attacks, dodge counter, or EX special attacks, she'll be able to increase her attack by 9% for 6 seconds, and the buff duration for different skills are calculated separately. This is a great general disk drive set for crit-based DPS characters and works very nicely on Ellen. As for 4-piece Polar Metal, this set grants the wearer 10% ice damage as well as increasing the basic attack and dash damage of the wearer by 20%. Plus, if an enemy becomes frozen or gets inflicted with shatter, then this effect is increased by an additional 20% for 12 seconds. If your team is able to freeze enemies often to take advantage of the additional 20% damage increase, this can easily be one of Ellen's best options, as you'll have an active 40% damage increase to her basic attacks as well as dash attacks. Overall, this set is excellent for ice DPS characters who take advantage of their basic attacks and dash attacks quite a bit. As for the last 4-piece set I would recommend, Puffer Electro is excellent for the 8% pen ratio buff it gives the wearer, but primarily the additional ultimate damage it'll provide, as you'll be able to get high burst damage with this set. Personally, I do favor the other two sets more than Puffer Electro 4-piece. This will be beneficial for attacks outside of dealing a bunch of damage during her burst combo of using her ultimate, and then dealing as much damage as possible to an enemy within that window. I would ultimately recommend though picking the set with the best main and substats though, due to all of them being very powerful options for Ellen. As for a 2-piece option, you can go with Polar Metal, Harmone Punk, Woodpecker Electro, or Puffer Electro. The 2-piece would be based on what 4-piece you end up picking, and then looking at the remainder 3 options for a 2-piece set to equip, which will once again be based on best main set as well as substat. As for Ellen's main stats, for Disk Drive 4, you'll want to go with crit rate or crit damage. Both are good options. Something I would note though is that the crit rate can be very nice for those that don't have a W engine with crit rate, plus her core passive will give her a bunch of crit damage. For Disc 5, go with ice damage percentage first, and if you don't have ice damage percentage, then go with attack percent or pen ratio. For Disk Drive 6, I would recommend attack percentage, and for Ellen's substats, I would recommend crit rate and crit damage the most, then attack percent, and lastly pen and flat attack. Now that we've gone over how to build Ellen, let's discuss her Mindscapes and lastly my thoughts on her. For those that aren't sure what Mindscapes are, they are essentially additional bonuses you can get for a character's kit if you get multiple copies of a character. For Ellen's first Mindscape, she will now gain 3 stacks from her normal dash attack and 6 stacks from her charged dash attack, as well as increasing Ellen's crit rate by 2% each flash freeze stack that is consumed, up to 6 stacks, which is 12% additional crit rate. This Mindscape is very nice for Ellen, as she'll be able to get crit rate in battle from consuming flash freeze stacks, but now it's easier to unleash very powerful enhanced basic attacks, especially if you trigger a quick assist. Now Ellen gets 6 stacks incredibly fast. This can be seen as a quality of life benefit for Ellen's gameplay, as well as a way to dish out more damage faster. Ellen's second Mindscape will allow her to deal her EX special attack Shark Nambi after her 3rd basic attack, and each flash freeze stack used will increase the crit damage of this attack by 20% up to 60%. This Mindscape changes her combo a bit, and being able to unleash Shark Nambi with ease will allow for nice DPS increase. Her 3rd Mindscape will increase her skill levels by 2 levels. Her 4th Mindscape allows her to gain 6 flash freeze stacks whenever an enemy is stunned or frozen, and she'll gain 4 energy in the quick charge effect. This allows Ellen to gain charges in even more ways now and can be nice for more combo possibilities as well as damage output. As for her 5th Mindscape, her skill levels will increase by 2 again. And then for Ellen's final Mindscape, whenever she uses her EX special attack, chain attack, or gains quick charge, her pen ratio increases by 20% for 6 seconds. Ellen will now also gain a new stack called the Feast Begins, which is up to 3 stacks. When she has 3 stacks, this will consume all the stacks and now power up her charged scissor attack by 250%, which is overall another nice DPS increase for Ellen's damage potential, as well as providing her pen ratio, which now allows her to ignore a percentage of enemy defenses. Overall, Ellen has powerful Mindscapes that can grant her quality of life benefits, new combo potentials, and also higher damage output. As for Ellen's value, I believe she's an excellent DPS character at only 1 copy. Ellen is easily one of the strongest DPS characters currently in Zenless and is powering through content with her skill kit. Her best teams feel very synergistic and also allow Ellen to further her potential as a DPS character. I do believe Ellen is a nice starter DPS character to start off your account in Zenless, and I've personally been enjoying her as she's helping me power through Shiyu Defense as well as other content in the game so far. I am also very excited to see what Juyin will also bring to the table, and I would love to know between Ellen and Juyin which character you guys are more excited for or just want more. That'll be all though for my complete guide on Ellen. Let me know what character guides you guys want next, and also if there's any videos you'd like for me to make. If you did enjoy this video, do make sure to subscribe, leave a like to support the video, and stay tuned for upcoming character showcases, guides, and much more. I hope to see you all next time. Peace.